What's up, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with NIO, Tesla SPY, and the overall markets. I'm also going to talk about why NIO is going to likely see some more upside as we're approaching resistance right now at the 6.5 area, and why this could lead to new highs, at least for the last couple of months. But so far, we're seeing some bullish news. I want to talk about that first in just a couple of minutes. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And then don't forget about the Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total, not to mention 8.1% APY on uninvested cash. The offer ends in just one day, then it's tomorrow, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, now let's talk about NIO. NIO is looking more bullish as we've broken past the $6 resistance. We're looking at 6.5 resistance. I see potential for us to go all the way up to the $7 area to test previous support becoming resistance all the way up here. There's a very, very good chance that NIO goes higher, so I'll be watching this very carefully. But why is NIO so bullish? We had some big news that came out. Well, the first thing is they mentioned on their Twitter page that they have entered a strategic partnership with very, very big companies out there. We have the New Energy Automobile Investment Fund Partnership alongside many others out there. This is great news as they're going to be making a big investment into the company, which is worth over $1.9 billion. So they're going to be investing a lot more money into NIO, seeing the potential in the future that it has. And then once again, this is going to lead to more upside. From the parent and investors, we're looking for this massive investment to be coming for the future for it. And I think this is very, very good news to help NIO outperform the markets. So looking at the fact that they are investing $1.9 billion. And then we're also going to be looking for another difference right over here. They're going to be reducing the parents' holdings about 88.3%. That's going to be a little bit of reduction in the stake because of the cash injection. That's what's basically happening right now. However, it's still more good than bad, at least from that end, because this is going to give NIO a lot more funding, a lot more capabilities, and it's going to allow them to invest a lot more into their products. So very, very good news, at least for NIO. I'm very excited about these partnerships moving forward. From the markets for tomorrow, okay, I'm going to talk about this first before I break down more news about NIO than the charts. Tomorrow is going to be Monday, September 30th, 2024. Please note that's at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have the Chicago PMI coming out. Then we have some Dallas Fed manufacturing numbers at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. After all of that comes out, at 1:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Jerome Powell giving a speech. Whatever Powell says could cause some volatility, so get ready for that. That's going to be a very, very big factor, and whatever Jerome Powell says could affect interest rates and what the market perceives for them. So we'll be watching to see. Right now, there's about a 53% chance we get a 50 basis point cut, about a 47% chance we get a 25 basis point cut. We'll see how this is affected by Jerome Powell's speech. So look for volatility with the Chicago PMI coming out and the manufacturing numbers for the first 15 minutes and first hour of market open. Look for volatility then. And then Jerome Powell's speech at 1:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time should cause more volatility. The market's greedy, but it's not as greedy as before. We were at extremes. Now we're kind of slowing down right now. We saw momentum at extreme greed. Now it's slowing down as well. And I just want to call out that the puts and call option ratios at extreme greed. Generally, when this happens, this is when we tend to see things kind of slow down a bit. So be prepared for that just to be safe. So I want to make that very, very clear. That's what's kind of like happening right over here. On top of this, I just want to mention that we have a couple of earnings. Not much is coming out for tomorrow, but by Tuesday, we have Nike and Levi's. And finally, for NIO is promising its customers ordering the L60s that they will get deliveries within a year. That's great news as the Onvo L60 has a lot more potential to ramp up sales. I think this is going to be a big catalyst for them because they're making more affordable EVs. So this is very, very bullish news. Can't wait to see what the future holds. And with production coming up, this is going to be very, very good for the share price. JP Morgan is giving them an overweight rating, which is good news. The price risk ratio is going up as we're building some strength. We also have a tendency of seeing more seasonality, more volatility around Mondays. We're only green about 49% of the time, but then Tuesdays and Wednesdays are known for being stronger days. And we tend to see more seasonality volatility around like 1 to 2 p.m., like around 2 p.m. I think is really nice. So watch for that. Volume is at 180 million, so I'm expecting high volume for Monday, and there's a good chance we try to continue the trend that we are on. So I think that going into tomorrow with the big news about the strategic partnership, we should be approaching $7. As long as we don't lose basically 6.5 flat, our next support is going to be at 6.3, followed by 6 flat. As long as we don't lose 6.5 and 6.3, I favor the upside move. We could tip a bit, then start pushing for that $7 area. And if that breaks, we're looking for 7.5 to be coming next. So it looks more bullish to me. I anticipate more upside. That is my view of NIO. Another stock is Tesla. Tesla looks very bullish to me as well. I think there's going to be a lot of hype associated with the deliveries. NIO and Tesla have deliveries coming out in just a couple of days. So there's a good chance that Tesla pushes for 265. We're going to be looking to see some tough resistance, but I think we're forming a nice cup. And Tesla will be pushing into the 265 to 270 zone, basically, all the way up there. So I anticipate a little bit more upside, and we'll see what happens after that. For other factors out there, we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin's looking a little bit more bullish. We basically have the 65,000 or basically 66,000 areas our resistance. We'll have to see if we hold 65,490. We are slowing down a little bit. We'll have to see if we hold support. So I think that we could be dipping towards about 65,400. If we lose that, we're looking for a big dip all the way down to 64,500. If we hold this, we could try to rebound. As of right now, there's going to be a risk of us dipping a little bit lower, but we'll see if we could hold 65.40. So look for a small dip on Bitcoin, and we'll see what kind of reaction we get from there. For others out there, we have Nvda. Nvidia is dipping a little bit. We're going to be looking at the support right here around this 118 area. We could be dipping towards that. But then once Jerome Powell starts his speech, we'll see if Jerome Powell pumps it or not. Look for a small dip, a little pop, and then drop as the day goes on. So 118, if not 116, then we'll see if we bounce off that. For SPY, we look a little bit more bearish from the 4-hour time frame. We're looking at 570 as our support. If that fails us, we're coming all the way down towards about this 568 area, and we'll see if we bounce or not. I do anticipate a little bit more downside for 570 than 568, and we'll see if the bounce ends up coming. So watch that very, very carefully, at least for SPY. That's going to be very, very key. I think that we're going to be looking at this key support right over here. If 568 fails us, we're looking for 565, by the way, but I think we might rebound off one of those levels. So I anticipate we're going to kind of pop a little bit to 571, then start dipping down to 568, if not 565, somewhere in that range. And then during Jerome Powell's speech, we could see an attempt to rebound a little bit. So that's what I'm anticipating. For the ES chart, we're looking for a little bit of a dip. We could be dipping all the way down towards 57. 70 flat, then eventually 57, 57 below that. So I think we could be dipping all the way down towards our 50 EMA for a little bit of a dip. Might dip a bit, we'll see if we bounce or not as we're losing our 20 EMA. For NQ, it's a little bit more bearish. We're losing 20,200. I anticipate we're going to be dipping all the way down to 20,000 flat. And we'll see if we bounce off that, but I do expect some downside. We could also dip on the QQQ towards 485. If that fails us, we're looking for 482, then 480. And we'll see if we bounce off 480 or not. But I anticipate some downside because of what's happening with the markets. And we'll see if we bounce depending on what Jerome Powell says. For Apple, we could be dipping towards 226. If that fails us, we're looking for 225. We could be dipping in this range, and we'll see if we bounce. So look for some downside, and we'll see what the reaction happens to be. For the IWM Russell 2000, we are dipping right now. We basically have 220 support. If that fails us, we're looking for 218 all the way down to where this gap is. I think we might be coming down to fill that gap before it tries to rebound again. So look for a little bit of a dip. It kind of popped and dropped on Friday. Could dip down to the 218 area if 220 fails us, and then we'll see if we bounce. But I do anticipate a little bit of downside that could be coming. For AMD, we're kind of rejecting right here. We're kind of dipping to the 162 area. If that fails us, we're going to be dipping all the way down to like 160. So look for some downside, and we'll see if we bounce off 162 or not. But I anticipate a downside move is the most probable thing. For others out there like Coinbase, we're pushing very nicely right now. We're going to be looking for resistance around this 195 area where this imbalance is. So we'll see if we break through that or not. We could be testing that. We'll see what the reaction happens to be. For Amazon, we look kind of weak right now. We got to reclaim 188. If not, we're going to be dipping down to about 185. I favor that we're going to be coming down to 185 to 184. And we'll see if we bounce, but look for some downside is a very probable thing. Meta has kind of like a head and shoulders like structure. We're looking for basically 564 as our support. If that fails us, we're looking for 560. If this holds, we could rebound. Might be dipping closer to 560, and we'll see what the reaction happens to be. For Microsoft, we're dipping right now. I think we could be getting very close to about 424. If we hit that, we'll see if we bounce or not. But I anticipate it might be dipping as we have like a little rejection right here. So 424, excuse me, could be tested before we see a rebound. Google's looking kind of weak. We'll see if 164.8 holds. If it does not hold, we're looking for 164, followed by this gap fill all the way down towards 163. So look for a little bit more downside off this double top. If we don't hold above 165, we're just barely at support. I think it might dip to 163.94 before it tries to rebound. There could be a double top coming, so be very mindful of that. When that being said, the majority of stocks are going to probably dip over the next couple of days. However, NIO, of all things, should try to outperform the market with the bullish news that came out, and we could be approaching the $7 area very, very soon. As long as we don't lose 6.5 and 6.3, those two supports, I favor a little bit of a bounce. I think with the bullish news that came out, we're going up to 7. And eventually, when 7 breaks, we're looking for the $8 target because that's what a lot of banks have as their price targets. There's a lot of potential for that at a very, very psychological level historically. So I think NIO will be pumping into the 7s. It has more upside potential tomorrow. I thank you all so much for listening. So please have a great day and peace out.